For 50 years, the hobby of hot rodding has had one organization and one event they can call their very own. The National Street Rod Association and its numerous national chapters keep hot rodding running strong, and their annual gathering in Louisville draws more than 10,000 classics and their owners to the grounds of the Kentucky Expo Center. It's an event filled with color and creativity and eye candy to the extreme. And it's what Motorhead Garage craves. Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat. For the next half hour, we're going to take you on a whirlwind tour of the 50th Annual NSRA Street Rod Nationals and give you an insider's look at award-winning cars and groundbreaking new products. We'll also take a cruise down memory lane and look back at a half-century of hot rodding history. So, what do you say? Let's get rolling. This 32 Brookville Phantom is getting a ton of looks here, and rightfully so. It's beautiful inside and out. But Gary, perhaps the most remarkable story is how you got it done. Tell me that story.
Well, a little over a year ago, I saw this car in raw metal at the Brookville booth, and I wanted to build it for the Grand National Roadster Show. A year later, here it is.
How much confidence did you have that you would get this done in time?
In my heart, a lot, and in my crew's eyes, I could see them really fighting for it. But everybody pulled together and fought for this. Had volunteers, customers. They all really wanted us to pull this off, and because of all those efforts, we were able to do so.
The engine is as spectacular as anything else on the car.
My mechanic had that since high school. He dug it out of the junkyard for a project. It sat in his garage, and he couldn't do anything because his daughter was born. And then later years, him and his daughter built the engine for the car.
And of course, I know drive shafts don't usually stand out, but this one does.
Again, my mechanic came up with this idea to do something different. We knew somebody at the local university that was taking a machining course. Him and his professor built this beautiful drive shaft out of solid aluminum, internally balanced.
How do you approach a build from the beginning?
A lot of sleepless nights. I sleep about 3 hours a day, and because my brain is turning on this stuff the rest of the time. Going to the Grand National Roadster Show, I knew I wanted to build a car for it. I didn't have a customer, so the name of this car is called All In because I put everything into it. Every credit card, every drop of sand gas, every piece of sandpaper, and then a week later when we got back, we sold the car for nice profits.
When you get started on a car, how do you envision it?
I kind of approach it artistically. You know, I try to use an artist's eye for it. I mean, to me, these old cars are beautiful, so I want to use it as a canvas.
Well, there's a bunch of artworks here on display, and we've also got some things to make yours go if you've got one yourself.
Well, we moseyed over to the Exalta booth where there's some gorgeous cars, and this Chevelle's included. Man, this thing's blue, and it was built by a father-son team. Mike, tell me about this Chevelle.
Well, it's a 1965 Chevelle with a 67 roof grafted onto it. Pretty much worked from one end to the other. Been body modifications, a lot of body modifications.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about the paint, man. That Exalta paint is gorgeous.
Exalta paint, base coat, clear coat, Chroma Premier Clear. Very good product, very good people to work with.
Now, what's your business? This is a father-son team. That makes it even better.
Yes, Mike Goldman Customs.
Cool. Now, the car's really nice, but Dave's over there with another one, man. It looks great.
Dave Lane built this 1932 Ford Vicky, and Dave, I can tell you, this thing is really a standout. Tell me about it.
Thank you. Pretty much every part on this vehicle has been cut in some way. 32 Ford Vicky is a really elegant car, so we didn't want to do a lot of massive changes. We just wanted to change everything a little bit to make it more correct. Lots of pie cuts, 3/8 of an inch here, 5/8 of an inch there.
Now, we're used to seeing this color gray on something European. It's called Nardo Gray from Exalta. Tell me about this color.
Yes, we just loved it. It's a very elegant color. I think it's used on a lot of European cars. Adam Kraus did the paint bodywork on it, did a flawless job.
Well, elegant is one word for it, and I call it bad to the bone. This thing looks great here at the Exalta booth, and there's lots more to come here from the NSRA 50th anniversary show, and that's all coming up next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Bora, the world's most winning exhaust. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM radio since 1977. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day on auto parts and accessories. And by Top Coat. Don't just coat it, top coat it.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat. Well, it wouldn't be a 50 annual Street Rod Nationals without a mix of cars, and I'm next to a 56 Pontiac Star Chief and a convertible to boot. Tim, you're the builder of this, man, and this car is incredible.
The car started as an original running, driving antique that my client bought and brought to us to turn into a hot rod. The idea started as a tail dragger, kind of dirty honky-tonk, and as we started to progress with some renderings, it went to this levels. At the start of the car, the front end, we did a set of custom-made headlight doors that a company called CC Tech did for us to try to mimic the fender top vent, tuck both of the front and rear bumpers, change the parking light location in the front bumper. The car has a one-off custom-built Roadster Shop chassis.
Let's talk about that bumper. It's pretty cool. We got some cool technology built into it.
The front bumper parking lights we took from the original location, outboard in the front bumper, and actually put an LED band inside the front bumper. Those LED strips act as driving lights, just like a new car would have.
Very unique, and also some technology under the hood, man. Tell us about the engine.
Yeah, it's a Don Hardy built Whipple supercharged LS, 418 cubic inch, 860 horsepower. That's dyno horsepower, but TCI did the transmission. EVOD did a set of valve covers for the engine to mimic the Pontiac Strato Street valve cover that would have been on it from the factory. My guys did the headers and all of the underhood aluminum fabrication.
I mean, it was a team effort. It was a great job.
Time now for Top Coat's tips and techniques.
You know, one of the benefits of Top Coat F11 is just the brilliant shine. I mean, it is an amazing product when it comes to shine, depth of image. You know, making paint like this obviously look as flawless as it does, but also that beautiful wet look that you want on cars like this. And not only that, but it's also about having a quality product you can trust, right, Mike?
That's right. You know, safety's a big deal with these type cars. You want a product you can trust. And after 2 decades, man, it's taken a while to develop this technology where you can trust it on an investment car like this. Especially nowadays, you don't know, a lot of these companies on social media have popped up overnight.
Oh, they're popping up everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of knockoff products, and you just can't trust that.
Yeah.
You know, but F11 is always the go-to product, and it's got a proven track record over tens of thousands of testimonials.
Well, that's the thing. I was just going to say that. How many testimonials do we get day in and day out, you know, with customers of cars just like this, thanking us for designing this product, you know, formulating this product to do just this? Because you get these amazing characteristics, whether it's this vinyl top, the glass, the paint, all the above, with one simple-to-use product.
Right, because we get reports all the time from these knockoff products that have destroyed
literally
vehicles like this from the plastic.
And they're calling us asking, how do you correct it?
Right, right. So we have to jump in and fix, you know, but you can avoid that problem to begin with. So to learn more, go to topcoat.tv.
Well, all new cars have electric power steering or some kind of power assist. Well, why not get it for your hot rod or existing car that you have? Well, you can now. I'm here with Tristan from Unisteer.
Well, Unisteer specializes in manufactured steering systems that fit your old hot rod or muscle car. We're really excited about our new power steering systems. We're integrating these into eidetic columns and making drop-in kits that are going to give you electric power steering in your hot rod or muscle car.
Show me the intricacies of it, and how does it work?
Well, you have an electric power steering unit, and this is built into the eidetic column. We have it placed so it's going to fit underneath the dash of the application that you have. This is going to give an electric power assist to your manual steering gearbox or your manual rack and pinion, so you will no longer have to deal with a power steering pump, lines, belt, pulley, all that leaky hydraulic fluid. You have new power steering, and you can just drive away.
So I'm eliminating the pump. Some of the benefits of it?
You're just cleaning up the engine compartment. You don't have to draw horsepower from the motor. No pump, no leaky lines. It's a clean look. It's just a new way to go. On some of the older applications, it's just not feasible, or it doesn't exist to have a power steering, a hydraulic system in that car. So the other thing is, we have new guys who are building cars with newer Coyote motors, LS motors that never had a power steering pump to begin with. This is a solution that you could use and still have power steering pump without trying to mess with that motor.
And that's absolutely huge. I mean, all electronics integrated into it. Tell me about the computer system.
It's a standalone system. There's a torsion bar that runs through the system. That's picking up what you're having from the ground and what you're inputting at the steering wheel. That activates the torque sensor. Torque sensor sends a signal to the controller. Controller is going to ramp up the motor as much or as little as you need it to help you make that turn. So when you're doing a turn at low speed in the parking lot, it's ramping up, drawing a lot of current, gives you full assist. When you're taking a turn on the highway, though the system's on and listening what you're doing on the road, it might not even ramp up.
So you incorporate in safety. What's your website?
Unisteer.com.
Check them out.
When Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat, returns, we'll switch on the Wayback Machine and reminisce about 50 years of hot rodding history. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Top Coat at the NSRA Street Rod Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, identifying a tire today is like reading hieroglyphics, man. What does all this mean? P, 255, 45, ZR17. It's just all foreign to us. Well, not anymore. Remember back in the old days, used to be what's called an alphanumeric system? Well, look at this graphic. It's pretty simple back then. You had a FR, the F being the load rating, radial construction, 70 is the aspect ratio, and bam, 14-inch diameter tire. Nothing to that. Well, today, it's called a P-metric system, and with that P-metric system, you could have a different designation for each one of these. Let's take a look at them in order. We'll start over there with a P. The P stands for passenger tire. If you had a T, that would be temporary, LT is light truck, or C is commercial. That's your first one. Then we went to the section width, and that's in millimeters now. So on our tire, it was 255. This one, it's 215. That's actually how wide the tire is. Aspect ratio, ours being a 45. That means that it's actually the height times the width. Think about a 51 would be almost a square tire, about as high as it is tall as it is wide. Next one's back to our R is radial construction, 89 load index, and then you have your speed symbol. The Z means it's a speed rated tire for a different speed. It's important to understand what tire, what's reading, so you can put it on there to make sure it clears and even to be safe when you're driving around.
If you have a street rod or any classic car, of course you want to protect it, and you'll probably want to display it as well, and that's where Car Capsule comes in. Phil, what do you guys do at Car Capsule?
Well, if you got a street rod, a muscle car, or a collectible, we protect the finest cars in the world. What we do is continuous airflow, continuous air change. You never get condensation. If you have no condensation, you have no mold, mildew, or rust. No car cover on the planet can do what we do.
Now, what is this piece we're standing in front of?
This is our signature series. This is our Elite series that comes with a checkerboard floor, an LED light kit, and a battery backup system.
What sets Car Capsule apart from the competitors out there?
Well, there's no car cover on the planet that has won more awards for our performance than us. Number two, there's no car cover that can provide continuous airflow and change and no condensation. And you get to see your pride and joy. When you go out there, it's not in tune. You can see it.
Where can I set this up? Can I set it up inside, outside? What do I do?
That's the great thing about us. We make indoor and outdoor models, but our indoor models are all clear. You can use them in heated or non-heated environments. So a factory, a barn, your garage, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's a must-have accessory for anybody with a classic car who wants to protect it and display it. Check them out at carcapsule.com.
Well, the days of slamming a radio system in a car are gone, unless you involve with the vehicle. And they've done that here. This is a local crew. I'm here with Brandon from Roberts Auto Electronics. You guys evolved. I mean, tell me about the company.
Yes, sir. We used to just do basic radio installs, and now we've evolved to doing things from repairing radios for dealerships, repairing radios for individuals, rebuilding amplifiers, rebuilding speakers. The days of being able to just throw a radio in a dash are gone. You can't just put any radio in any car. So now we've gotten to where we've kind of changed the way we do things and diversified what we do to include a little bit of everything.
Now, can I ship stuff to you, or do you have to bring the car in, or how does it work?
We can do it either way. Depending on what kind of repair you've got, we can fix things in-house, have the radio removed, send it to us, we'll test it, run it through a series of tests, and then repair whatever's wrong with the unit.
Okay, you have some products. Tell us a little bit about the product line.
Yeah, this is our more premium flagship brand. This is Focal. Focal makes reference speakers. They make your really high-end home speakers. They make all of their speakers in-house. A lot of their more high-end speakers are made in France, and these guys make all of the tools and all of the equipment that allows them to make the speakers.
Our co-host Dave's, he's going to give it a test. Dave's had a couple of kids, so wagon's going to be perfect for him. Well, maybe not this wagon. Check it out.
Well, John, I think my wife will go for it. She loves music, and so do I. Brian built this thing. The interior is out of this world. The sound system, it's not just about volume, it's about the sound.
Yeah, it's about clarity. It's about just grabbing you and taking you into the music and enjoying it.
Now, the experience in here, you're actually bathing somebody. This is really for a music lover.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's not just about annoying the neighbors.
No, it's not for the people outside the car. It's for the people inside the car.
Well, I dig what you guys have done. You do everything for a car interior, and I am sold. I'm going to write you a check immediately.
Awesome. Sounds great.
You can check them out on Facebook and Instagram. It's Roberts Auto Electronics. You better go check them out.
Street Rod Nationals. Jim, the marketing director, you're obviously doing a good job because this place is packed, man. Phenomenal people, phenomenal cars. 50 years. Let's go through the history a bit.
The association started in 1970, actually as Rod and Custom Nationals. 600 cars at the first event. We're right at about 12,000 at this event. So we're having a grand time, I'm gonna tell you. We've got a deal today, we call it the Made 'em All. It's the folks that were the original Street Rod Nationals in Peoria, Illinois. They're still coming. I think we've got 18 now that are made every one. The other part that's kind of interesting, particularly this year, we have Australians here, we have folks from New Zealand. Actually had some folks ship cars from Australia to be a part of the 50th Street Rod Nationals. I'm gonna tell you what, it is the granddaddy of them all, and this is the place to be.
Over the course of the last 50 years, hot rodding has gone through many stages and had many slogans. One I remember well is Surf's Up. And when we come back to Louisville, we'll salute the era of the Surf Woody with a modern spin. Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat. We'll be right back.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. R3 Performance Products, setting a new standard for muscle car and resto mod builds around the world. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Raptor Coatings, tough and tintable protective coatings. And by Dannmar Equipment. Now you see it, now you don't.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Topcoat. Well, things are heating up here at the 50th Annual NSRA Street Rod Nationals, but John Gardner is working hard at keeping things cool.
Well, without a cooling system, your engine's gonna have catastrophic damage, man. It's just a hunk of metal. That's why I'm here with Scott from Wizard Cooling. Scott, radiator's been around for a while, but your new innovation is this brushless fan, man. You can give me all the words you want, but why don't you turn this thing on? Let's check it out, man. Wow. All right, starting to spin now. It's spinning up, and just for demo purposes, it's been like great. You can turn it off. That is absolutely amazing. The audience out there is like, whoa, what's going on? Tell us about it.
Definitely gets a lot of attention. It is the new brushless technology from Spall. We have applied these fans to pretty much every radiator in our product line. You know, the fans have a massive amount of torque. They have a higher CFM than the standard fans. The packages are quite a bit thinner than the standard fan packages. We've applied them not only to our own product line, but now we've also come up with a new line of DIY fan kits with the brushless fans, which can allow you to now build a shroud for your own radiator. So it doesn't have to be our radiator that this stuff is going on to. So it's really opened up a whole new avenue for us.
You also have some other products that integrate everything into it for the cooling system as well, and the intercool. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've come up with some really interesting packages where we're incorporating like the AC condenser, the intercooler, and we're really getting some huge benefits in our systems when we've been able to apply the brushless fans to those really dense, really thick, fat packages that we're creating now.
Now, people don't understand. The radiator's great, you make all that too, but pulling it through, that's the key. I mean, when that thing's on the back, no matter the density, there's torque in those motors, this thing's working.
Yeah, the fans grind super hard. They are just absolutely phenomenal. You have to come to one of the shows. You've got to see the fans in person. You've got to feel what they're doing. It literally blows everybody away. It's great.
And that's the truth. It does blow everybody away. And the best thing about it, it's made in the USA. Thousands of applications. Go to their website and check it out.
Well, every good paint job starts with the prep, and that's where Soft Sanders comes in. Dave, how is Soft Sanders different from a standard sanding block?
This is a traditional block, and if you have sandpaper on it and you go to bend it a little bit, the sandpaper will buckle. So therefore, you just really can't use it to do the curvatures of this dune buggy fender. So the best way to get around that is to take the sandpaper off and put it on the vehicle itself, and then take the block and put it on the sandpaper. We're just kind of tricking it, so to speak. And then what you have is you don't have any buckles or wrinkles or anything like that. And it looks like right here the sandpaper is a little loose yet. Instead of going back and tightening it up, I want to twist it. And when you twist it, you're locking it into position. After it's locked, it's tight now. Now you can go ahead and sand with it. Sand back and forth like this with it. Go down into the valleys. There's no teeter-tottering on it at all. There's 100% contact patch. It's not rocking or it's not limited. It's lacquer thinner proof, acetone proof, nothing hurts them.
So how long will these last?
We've had them on the market since '05, and we've got people that's had them 8, 9 years, and they might look like a potato, but they work great.
Now these can use standard sandpaper,
yes,
but it works better if they use yours, right?
Yes, these are exactly designed for standard sandpaper, the width goes. But if you're trying to get into a tight area like this, you might want to take and use our sandpaper because it'll travel it. But the standard sandpaper will do the outward curves quite well, but it'll have a little difficulty on the inside.
And what about wet sanding?
They're absolutely superb for wet sanding. They don't hold water, and our sandpaper is a wet and dry Superflex sandpaper. It has a waterproof adhesive, and that waterproof adhesive will adhere again and again under the water, no problem at all. It's awesome.
Well, you'll get a higher quality prep job, be a lot less fatigue, and you can work even longer and work better. Work smarter with the Soft Sander guys. You can check them out at softsanders.com.
Well, this is not the station wagon I rode to Disney World in when I was a kid. This is a 1960 Country Squire, decked out from the front to the back. Does it move? You tell me. 5.0 Coyote motor under the hood. This will get you to your family vacation in no time. And check out the wood grain work, all airbrushed right here, along with the surfboard up on top. Surf's up, dude. Dave's checking out another wagon.
Well, sometimes you start out with a car that may appear to be perfect, but it's not always the car of your dreams, and that's the case with this 1957 Olds Fiesta wagon. Bobby Buttram and his wife Carolyn had a dream, and it turned into this beauty here in the Builder's Showcase. It's got an 8-speed automatic and LT4 engine underneath, making 650 horsepower, and coilover suspension on all 4 corners, which makes it ride like a dream. And this truly is a dream car. We've seen a ton of them today, but we are out of time. So you're going to have to join us next week for more Motorhead Garage presented by Top Coat.